Welcome to this pre-match press conference prior to the match against Northern Ireland tomorrow. Good to see you all. This press conference will be held in English all the way through, as this match is a special selected match by UEFA. So when I open for questions, please prepare yourselves to ask the questions in English, and of course we'll answer in English. Just a few information from me. It's a sold-out match again for the 10th time in a row. We have a sold-out Parken Stadium tomorrow. We are very excited about all the fans and very grateful for them to show up. There's a fan zone in Fælledparken before the match. There's a special surprise for the fans. There's a musical act in there, which can be quite exciting. And also for all of us who love football, tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you can watch our under-21 team play their first qualifier for the under-21 Euro. It's against Lithuania, and you can watch it on DBU TV and our channels. So there's a lot of good football for the next couple of days. We'll have a short introduction by Kasper Hjulmand, and then we open for questions. Kasper?
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, first of all, I'd like to just a comment on the fact that we are going to Parken once again with a packed stadium, and it's a privilege, and we know this is something we have to appreciate a lot, and we have to give back, just a big thanks for the population to back us up, and we can't wait to get started with the match, and hopefully give some good moments back from this match, and we are eager to make a good performance and try to get the win. We are playing for Denmark. We have a feeling that we are very proud every time we play, and we want to do our absolutely best, and in this case to bounce back after a big disappointment in Kazakhstan and get back on track. We have a dream of going to the Euros, and it's one step at a time, and this time it's Northern Ireland at home, and I have great respect for Northern Ireland, great respect for my colleague Michael O'Neill, who makes a great job. He's very experienced, he knows what he's doing. Northern Ireland is a difficult case, but in Parken and with this group of players, we've had a very good week, and we are very, very focused to make a good performance and get the win, so we can take a next step towards the dream of going to the Euros. So we have a good feeling, and we are prepared, we are ready, and can't wait to get started. Thank you.
And then I open for questions. You need a microphone for when you have the word. Anybody for questions? The first question? Christopher, hold on for the mic. Thank you.
It's a question for you, Simon and Kasper. Schmeichel. It is 30 years ago since Denmark won against Northern Ireland the last time. Does that make you even more hungry as a player, that you know that is so many years ago? I know that you didn't play 16 years ago when you met them the last time, but still.
I didn't know that was the case. No, I don't think we need any more motivation than to get back on track, and we all know the rewards that lie ahead if you qualify. So for me personally, no, that doesn't give any extra. I don't think we need any more motivation than we already have.
No, I look at it the same way as Kasper do. What excites me is that we go back in Parken at the full stadium. That's a special feeling every time, and something that you have to appreciate. The nights in Parken when it's packed, it's something different.
Are you surprised that it is so many years ago? You have played them 4 times since then.
No, I think. Listen, I don't think Northern Ireland are to be underestimated in any way. It just shows that they've had quality for a long time, and we aren't in any way underestimating them. Still, we know how difficult a game against them it can be. But like Simon said, we're at home. We have the support of the most amazing fans in our home stadium. So we're motivated, we're focused, we've had a great week. It's been a long time since we've been able to prepare for a game for so many days. So hopefully that's going to help us.
Should I continue?
Sure. One more question, and then we'll pass it on.
Are any players in a question for tomorrow, Kasper? Any injuries we have to?
A question mark, but no more than that. But just one question mark in the squad.
Who is that?
Yusuf.
Yeah, we pass it on. Please, Mads, will do. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Kasper. You talked a lot about the game against Kazakhstan and what you were meant to do mentally about that. Are you nervous of seeing the same reaction tomorrow or in the coming days? And have you seen the reaction that you hope for?
I'm not nervous, and I am confident, and I believe in the group. I believe in the players, and I think we made the job we had to do at talking about it, and we stayed there for some days. Now we moved on, and I'm confident that we learned, and we can take it as a learning point going forward. So no, I'm not nervous. I'm confident.
I have a question for you, Kasper. Throughout the whole season, there's been some writings about your situation in Nice. Now we are going into a transfer window, and there's some speculation about your future. Can you tell us how you go into this window thinking about your future? Are you considering a move, or what's going on?
At the moment, Northern Ireland is my only focus. Whatever happens when we finish with the national team, I'll use the energy for that at that point. But right now, everything is focused on Northern Ireland.
Should I continue?
One more question and then pass it back on.
Kasper, again, you're playing in Lars Høgh's jersey tomorrow. Can you tell us about how it's been being in the Danish national team without him in the last 1.5 year, 2 years?
It's been difficult. Lars was probably the only constant that I've had since I joined the national team, and I've since he left us, there's been many times during good periods, during bad periods, where I've been close to calling him, where that would be my kind of go-to guy to speak things through and to talk things through and to get his opinion of. So for me personally, it's been a massive miss, but I can also see within the squad, he's missed all the time. He was a guy that had this unique ability to have an individual relationship with every player. He wasn't just a goalkeeper coach, it was so much more beyond that, and that's something that can't really be replaced. It was so natural, and it was such a natural human way of interacting with people, and he was very good with everybody, with not just the staff but the goalkeepers, but all the youngsters as well. He was so warm and welcoming to everyone. So I think no matter how you twist and turn it, he's missed in a great number of ways.
Yes, please.
Yes, I have a question for you, Kasper Hjulmand. You just mentioned that Yusuf Poulsen is a question mark. What's the case with him?
Just a small thing. We believe he's ready.
Okay, and the second question, yesterday your colleague Ståle Solbakken raised some concerns about how many games the players are playing these days. He compared some big names with Kjær and players like him 20 years ago, how many games they are playing today compared with 20 years ago. How do you see this development?
Northern Ireland. I haven't read what Ståle said, and right now I'm fully concerned about or focused on the next match. And let's take that discussion another time. I'll debate it with you. But right now it's all about a game against Northern Ireland, and then in 3 days. And we don't think it's too much. We are looking forward for these matches, and that's where we are right now, fully focused on the match.
Can you pass on the microphone to Anila in the first round? Thank you.
I think we need to use both of them. This is a question for Kasper and Simon. So this period from the World Cup in Qatar and the last time you were here with the national team, you lost against Kazakhstan. How much has this been in your thought, and coming back to these games to maybe to prove something, maybe to prove that you are this team with a lot of quality, which you showed before the World Cup?
I think the most difficult things about leaving the national team is either you won the match and you want to enjoy the time with your teammates, and then you got to go home. And the same way, if you lose games, that you want to do something straightly after the match, in the coming days, to make sure that these things are talked through, and all of this is the most difficult part or the best part. Because also when you go home after that, you have to reset directly because you have another task. I have no concerns about what happened in Kazakhstan. I have to be honest, I think this is also one of the things why we all love football. Everything can happen in football. That's why Saudi Arabia, they beat Argentina in Qatar, and Argentina are the world champions. So everything is possible. Of course you have to, I'm sure Kasper has seen the game probably 50 times to try to understand, but that is football. Then Kasper and we have discussed things in the squad, but we are 100% confident that we are in a good place. The head is at the right place, and we look forward. I also remember a game in Parken where we lost against Montenegro, and after that we also bounced back very hard. So it's not a concern for me.
No, I think one game doesn't define you as a team. Like Simon said, things can happen, shit happens, and that was the case. Sometimes you just come up against something that you can't really explain always, but this is life, and like Simon said, this is why we love football. But there's ways of gaining perspective, and I think maybe if we are to take anything positive out of the Kazakhstan result, it shows us that no matter what, no matter who you play against, that you can't switch off just for a split second, because at this level the quality is there, and if you give any player at this level time on the ball, then they have the ability to hurt you. And it's a good lesson, and it's good. It's something that that's good to remind ourselves of. But it's not something that defines us. We win, and all the good times roll, and everybody's happy. All this, but it's natural in football. You're going to lose football games sometimes, and sometimes you're not going to be able to explain it. But this is life. This is football, and that's probably where us as professionals we take the rough with the smooth, whereas you guys it's headlines, it's stories, because that's what sells. But for us, we analyze it in a constructive way. It's not about shouting and screaming and being angry and all this. It's about seeing how we performed and how we could do better, and then this time we aim to do better, and I'm 100% confident that we will.
Just a question for Simon as well. If you're going to play tomorrow, you're going to play your game 125 in the red and white shirt. You're already smiling, so that's a really big thing. But you're also nearing this guy's father. Maybe in the fall you will get there. So how much is this in your thought, and how proud are you of this achievement?
I've learned one thing in football, and with the injury that I just had for 1.5 years ago, that nothing for granted. Like, I take every day at a time. Work hard every day. What comes. Of course, if I get the match tomorrow, 125, that would be something that I never dreamt about, to be honest. But yeah, for me it's more about the days, the moments I have. I really love to go with the national team. I've seen so many colleagues throughout my career that looks in a way that now I have to go to national team or something, and not really enjoying it. And for me, it's every time I look forward to come here. Every time I love the times with the guys, even with the coach. No, the times with the team, national team, is something special. Something that I will take with me forever, and something I always can look back on all of the great memories that I have. So, of course, it will be a big achievement, but one day at a time. That's what I learned so far.
Would be there any jealousy in the Schmeichel family if he gets to the 130?
No, I think if anyone deserves it, it's Simon, and we probably have one more player in this squad as well that will break that record at some point as well. So yeah, I think it just goes to show the longevity and and the determination, like Simon said, coming back from an injury like that to still be at that level and still have the hunger and desire. It shows the love for the national team, and it really is something different. It is something special, and I've had exactly the same experience as Simon, of players that don't really enjoy maybe going away and spending time away from their families, but when you come into an environment like this and you go into a family like we have here, then it just makes everything so enjoyable, and that's why everyone's desperate to stay. And then you have nights like hopefully tomorrow, where, you know, again, we don't take for granted that the stadium is full, because 10 years ago when I started, we were playing for 12,000 people, you know. So things are heading in the right direction, and I'd be very, very proud to play with Simon if we both play in the game where he breaks it.
Last couple of questions. If you pass on the red microphone to Morten and then to Mikkel, and over here.
A question for the coach. During the season, Manchester City has been playing with an advanced defender when they're in possession. Holland did it last night in the Nations League semi-final. Is that something that you've been considering for the Danish national team?
We've been doing it a long time ago, so maybe they're watching us.
Like in which matches?
Like in the Euros, we pushed Andreas Christensen.
That's when you play with 3 defenders, is that not correct?
Then you play with 4 if you push a fullback back and play with 3. We've been pushing Andreas up many times, playing in the midfield, going forward. So, and I think a player like Andreas has that's one of the players that we can really use in different positions and play in positions with him, and so we've been doing it before, and it's not just something we do just to do what other people are doing, but we are trying to use the strength of our team, our players, and see if we can get some tactical advantages here and there. We also pushed a center, a full back inside to create a superiority in the central part of the pitch. So we are trying. In 21 we had, I think it was 18 games and a lot of training sessions, so it was quite easy, or easier to try to take steps every time and learn and do more things. This year is more difficult, but still we have a possibility, and I always try to be curious of what is possible in national team football in terms of the tactical things we can do. But yeah, I think it's interesting always to look at these tactical things. But first of all, to get the players in a position where they play their best football, and see if we can together find a frame to play. So it's not the coach's ideas, but it's the quality of the players, so they can play their best football. That's my job.
If you pass on the microphone to Mikkel, and then we take last 2 questions. Thank you, guys.
It's for Kasper Schmeichel. Kasper, have you considered playing in jersey number 2 for the rest of your national team career? And
22.
What?
22, yeah.
22, yeah.
Said 2.
Oh, sorry. And do you have a ritual or something that you normally do in every training or match to honor Lars Høgh?
No, this was a special case because of the jersey that we're playing in, and it's a one-off. I don't actually think I've ever played in a different number than 1 in the national team. But no, the thought was, because of we were wearing the jersey that was iconic to him, that we may as well go the whole way and honour him completely. But no, in terms of rituals, I don't know. He's still his principles of goalkeeping is still discussed within the group sometimes in training, and some of the stuff that we do in training is still in line with all the stuff that he taught us, because we have obviously all the keepers that have worked with him personally, and keep the goalkeeper coach worked with him as well. So a lot of the principles and rituals remain the same.
Yeah. Last question. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a question for Simon. You missed out on the last few games of the season, and particularly the semi-final in the Champions League. Can you put some words in how it was to miss out on that, and how you're feeling of going into these games without the last few matches in your legs?
You play some and you miss some. Of course, you want to play as a football player. You want to play all the games. But I played quite a few. Also the 3 games against Napoli. Also the first semi-final in the Champions League. So That's football. Coaches make choices and they're not always easy. You respect them and you push on. But physically, probably never been better. In a good place since my injury. It's been a long way, but it has been a pleasant way with a lot of hard work. And yeah, if I look back before and now, all my numbers are better. All my fitness is better than it was before. So how I feel good.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for showing up. Have a great match tomorrow night.